What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for NBA Tuesday, January 11th. These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for today's NBA slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay guys, we have a 6-game slate tonight. So let's take a look at the point guard position. I like Eric Bledsoe from the LA Clippers playing the Denver Nuggets, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall, but they give up the 4th most fantasy points to opposing point guards. Eric Bledsoe has averaged 23.6 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 27 minutes per game with a 20% usage rate. But I like this pick because he scored 50, 30, and 39 fantasy points in his last 3 games versus the Nuggets. So I think he can score 25 fantasy points or more here. He's $5,400 DraftKings salary and $700 less on FanDuel. Now he scored 27, 5, and 19 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 26, 19, and 35 minutes. Vegas thinks there's going to be 212.5 points scored in this game. This play is a little bit scary, although it's a much easier play on FanDuel where he's under 5K. But either way, I think he'll still hit value on DraftKings. So I like Eric Bledsoe here versus the Denver Nuggets. Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching. If you want to enter the drawing for $25 PayPal, all you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won, and we'll send you $25 PayPal. So it's that easy, and we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video. So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you. Okay, let's take a look at the shooting guard position. I like Brandon Ingram from the New Orleans Pelicans playing the Minnesota Timberwolves, who have the 10th worst defense overall. They give up the 6th most fantasy points to opposing shooting guards. Brandon Ingram has averaged 39 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 35 minutes per game with a 30% usage rate. He's projected at 38.6 fantasy points here tonight. I think he can score 40 fantasy points or more in this one. And he's $8,200 DraftKings salary, $200 less on FanDuel. Vegas thinks there's going to be 227.5 points scored in this game. And Brandon Ingram has scored 34, 55, and 31 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 35, 34, and 33 minutes. And he's played the Timberwolves pretty well here. He scored 25, 40, and 44 fantasy points in his last 3 games versus the Timberwolves. It's a good matchup, so I like Brandon Ingram here versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. Oh, and Vegas thinks there's going to be 227.5 points scored in this game, so it's a good game to stack. You could also play D'Angelo Russell, who's been pretty hot the past couple of games. He's $8,000 DraftKings salary, $400 less on FanDuel, and he scored 49 and 52 fantasy points in the last 2 games, playing 33 and 31 minutes. So I also like D'Angelo Russell here versus the New Orleans Pelicans. Okay, let's take a look at the small forward position. I like Kyle Anderson from the Memphis Grizzlies playing the Golden State Warriors, who have a good defense overall. They've been good versus opposing small forwards. Kyle Anderson has averaged 22.1 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 23 minutes per game with a 17% usage rate. He's projected at 25.1 fantasy points here tonight, That's 5 times value. He's 5,000 DraftKings salary, 700 more on FanDuel. Vegas thinks there's going to be 218.5 points scored in this game. And Kyle Anderson scored 42 fantasy points in 28 minutes last game. He's got a pretty good track record here versus the Golden State Warriors. Scored 20, 27, 37, 28, and 30 fantasy points in his last 5 games versus the Warriors. So I like Kyle Anderson here versus the Golden State Warriors. Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all of our DFS tools for all sports. You can try the Position Optimizer, where you can see the top players ranked for each position. And we added a new Player Trends tool, where you can see the top salary differences between FanDuel and DraftKings. It's a really good tool to help you pick out value for the site that you're playing on. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups. Okay, let's take a look at the power forward position. I like Nicholas Batum from the LA Clippers playing the Denver Nuggets, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall. They're middle-of-the-pack defending opposing power forwards. Nicholas Batum has averaged 20.5 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 26 minutes per game with a 13% usage rate. He's projected at 19.3 fantasy points here tonight, but I think he can score 25 fantasy points or more in this one, get you over 5 times value. He's 4,300 DraftKings salary, 400 more on FanDuel. Vegas thinks there's going to be 212.5 points scored in this game. And Nicholas Batum has scored 29, 20, and 17 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 30, 19, and 17 minutes. So I'm hoping he can get 25 to 30 minutes in this game. So I like Nicholas Batum here versus the Denver Nuggets. Okay, let's take a look at the center position. Now, there's 2 centers that I like on this slate. Let's just start out with Pascal Siakam from the Toronto Raptors playing the Phoenix Suns, who has a good defense overall. They give up the 8th most fantasy points to opposing centers. Pascal Siakam has averaged 41.2 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 36 minutes per game with a 26% usage rate. I think he can score 45 fantasy points or more in this one. He's 9,200 DraftKings salary, 600 more on FanDuel. Vegas thinks there's going to be 223.5 points scored in this game. And Pascal Siakam has scored 58, 37, and 55 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 42, 38, and 41 minutes. So playing a ton of minutes. And he scored 53, 52, 52, and 66 fantasy points in his last 4 games versus the Suns. So I love that player versus team history. So I like Pascal Siakam here versus the Phoenix Suns. The other center that I like is Nikolai Vucevic from the Chicago Bulls playing the Detroit Pistons, who have the 8th worst defense overall. They're middle-of-the-pack defending opposing centers. Nikolai Vucevic has averaged 40.7 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 33 minutes per game with a 23% usage rate. He's projected at 41.5 fantasy points here tonight, and I think he can score 45 fantasy points or more. And he's 9,000 DraftKings salary, 100 more on FanDuel. Vegas thinks there's going to be 221 points scored in this game, and Nikolai Vucevic has scored 28, 54, and 45 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 34, 33, and 35 minutes. And he also has a good track record versus the Pistons. He scored 54, 40, 56, 42, and 65 fantasy points in his last 5 games versus the Pistons. So I like Nikola Vucevic here versus the Detroit Pistons. If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smiggity smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NBA slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again, and good luck.